I thought I'd like to talk today a little bit about my creative evolution, where I got started and where I'm at now, because it has been an evolution. I've had a lot of changes in my approach to scrapbooking. Now, just to give you a brief background, I started scrapbooking in around 2002. And the way I got started was a friend of mine was doing or had gone on a European trip actually, and she had created a album of her pictures. At that point in time, the only thing I knew about scrapbooking was a manila folder full of newspaper clippings, kind of a thing. That's what I associated with the word scrapbooking. I looked at her album, thought it was really neat, and she had a lot of what I now know are called embellishments in it and lettering techniques and things like that. And I said to her, "Well, this is really cool. That neat idea." And she said, "Oh yeah, well, do you want to meet the lady?" And I said, "There's a lady?" And she says, "Yeah, this was somebody that she bought a lot of her equipment and her materials from." So I said, "Sure." So we went and met the lady. She was a creative memories consultant. And by the time I was done in an hour from her place, I spent $450 and became a scrapbooker. And I've never looked back. Of course, I started out with the creative memories technique. And what really turned me on about them at the time were the gadgets. The shape cutters, they had circle and squares and ovals and things like that. And you put these frames over top of your pictures and used a special little cutting tool. And I thought that was really cool. So I did my first album. And the reason I really kind of got into it, besides the influence of my friend, was that I had all these pictures that I wanted to put in an album and give to my parents. And so I did that. And I did this for quite a while. I bought more of their materials. They were good quality and I really liked them, but I really got kind of tired of circles and ovals and that kind of thing. And so I branched out and I discovered that there were stores at the time. There's not a lot of them around now, but there were a lot at that point in time. And I bought a lot of materials from them. And I discovered the wonderful world of scrapbooking paper and embellishments and then tools, all kinds of tools. And I've always been into the tools for this kind of thing. So I did traditional scrapbooking. And I've got, I don't know, 20, 30 albums full of travel pictures, family pictures, special event pictures, cat pictures, the whole bit. I got a little tired of traditional and I started to explore the world of digital. And I'm big into computers. And so I got into digital scrapbooking and I liked that and I did that for quite a while. My friends, every time we'd go to a crop event, would laugh at me because they'd come with all of their equipment. And there I was with my laptop, and that was pretty much about it. And as long as I could get near a power source, I was fine. Then I got a job after I retired from teaching school. I got a part-time job with my local scrapbook store. And I kind of got reintroduced to the whole world of paper crafting. And I started doing classes in traditional scrapbooking again. And it was that inspiration that led me to explore further. I started to make my own albums. And so I started creating, albums. I got a cinch. I did them in different ways. I ended up making quite a few albums and things like that. I really liked making the mini albums. But what I was finding as I was making the mini albums is I was making the mini albums simply for the fact I wanted to make an album. I wasn't really putting pictures in a lot of them. And so I have boxes now of all kinds of different types of mini albums. And I still enjoy making them, but I really need to put pictures in them as well. I even explored the world of book binding. This I found fascinating. Much more involved than making mini albums because you do a lot of sewing, you create the binding, you create what's called the signatures inside. And so I started making quite a few of these. And you want to know something? I should go back. I had quite a few failures with this too, but I think I've worked out the kinks in all of that now. And I should go back and make some more of these journals. But this time, instead of just making journals with lined pages in them for writing on, I actually think I should make hard-covered scrapbooks this way. So that's a future idea. Um, then I started to explore other types of album making. And well, recently I just started this. This is from Heartfelt Creations. They just came out with this about 2 months ago. This is their album system, and I think it's brilliant. If you don't want to make a mini album from scratch, you can buy the basic shell and you can buy inserts that fit into the pages of it, and away you go. And really, it's your creativity is your only uh, level. But I love the little inserts that you can get for them. This album is not done yet. I've still got a lot of things to go with that, but I'm just giving you a preview. This is what it looks like when it doesn't have any inserts, and that's what I have to continue working on. Again, I'm not sure if this one's ever going to see any pictures or not. I'm doing it in sort of a vintage travel kind of mode, but I may actually put some pictures in it, but I'm just enjoying the process, the creativity. And this is the thing, part of my creative evolution. I'm not just interested in getting pictures matted and laid out in an attractive array on pre-made scrapbook paper. Now I want to make the embellishments myself, the flowers, the borders. I'm really into die cutting these days, both electronic die cutting and standard metal dies as well. And I really find this much more artistic, I guess, than just mounting pictures and putting in a caption. So that's where I'm going as well. But also, I've been exploring the wonderful world of Project Life. Now, this is a pretty big album, so I don't think I can get it all in the shot. But I started out, you saw that little mini album I showed you earlier, this one. Okay. My intention when I went on this last cruise, I travel a lot, and that's what a lot of my scrapbooks are about, is my travels. I was on a cruise from Singapore to Hong Kong, and my idea was I was going to take this album with me. It was already pre-made but blank, and I was going to print my pictures right on the ship because I've got what they call a Canon Selfie, which is a really small printer and does a really wonderful job. And I had it all set up so that I'd be able to just drop the pictures into it. Well, guess what? I couldn't take the selfie with me because I couldn't get anything more in my suitcase. Not the selfie takes up a lot of room, but I just couldn't get it in. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to go with that idea. I'll do it when I get home. So I started working on this. But as you can see, I did start working on it. I started printing out my pictures, but they're really tiny. And you know, I wanted something a little bigger. Also, this was going to take me a long time. And I'm working on so many projects at once that I decided that this was not the way to go, not for travel pictures. I wanted something a little faster that I could get my album done so I can share it with people. So I looked at Project Life. And if you're not familiar with Project Life, it's basically a pocket system where you cut your pictures, drop them in. It has cards you can put in with it too for journaling or for as embellishments, and away you go. I've looked at it before and I didn't really consider it scrapbooking. I thought of it more as a glorified picture album. But then I started watching YouTube videos and saw what people were doing with these albums. And I thought, wait, I could do the same. So I decided to mat my pictures and I decided to add embellishments on top. So this is much quicker, but I think the final result is really good, especially for this kind of picture placement. Oh, I see my glue came off on that one. Got to reglue that. Um, but it's fast and it's pretty easy, and I think it looks fairly attractive. Plus, you can get inserts, so you can add memorabilia and things like that to it. So I'm really liking this idea. In fact, I liked it so much that I went out and I got myself a day planner. And I'll just show it to you quickly here. They have 6x8 planners, and you can get all these inserts for it. Now, I've used planners before, but this one I'm using more or less to not just plan my days and my calendar for the months, but I'm also including with it pictures and little pieces of journaling. So in a sense, this becomes a daily scrapbook. So you can see here, I've just added some things about my daily life into the page pockets, and I'm kind of enjoying this. Also, it gives me space for planning for future details. And when I'm done this year, I will have a scrapbook for my whole year showing what life has been like in 2016. Now, I also took the liberty of decorating the cover, personalizing it, and I did that here. As you can see, you don't have to do that, but I want to make it a little bit more personal than what it how it came. So this is project life as well. The other thing that has happened in my creative evolution is, of course, art journaling. And if you've been watching some of my previous videos, you know that I've gotten into art journaling in a big way. And so this is my art journal. And really, this is a place where I allow myself to experiment. And not everything turns out well, like, oh, this is a mess. Um, but I experiment with different products, see what kind of thing I get. And as time has gone by, I've gotten a little bit more freer with how I do things. And I'm not as afraid anymore to experiment. Not everything has to be perfect. A lot of things are happy accidents, and that's okay. And in fact, what I do with my art journal, I go just a little further. If there's a page I really like, I scan it and I print it out. I have a wide format printer. I print it out as a scrapbook background paper. Or I'll print it out and I'll cut it into little mosaic tiles and use that to create a background or an embellishment, that kind of thing. Make ATC cards with it, all that. There's a lot of potential extensions here that you can go beyond. But again, this is something I do just for me. Okay. I don't care if anybody likes it or if they don't like it. I'm experimenting and it gives me a lot of joy. It really does because it makes me happy. This is the page I really like. And actually, just on a side note, I did a video. A few videos back, you can find this whole process if you want to sit through about an hour and 45 minutes. Okay, you can fast forward it too. But this one I really liked. It turned out nice. I think it did. I don't care if you think it did or not. Doesn't matter. So I told you, it doesn't matter. So, anyways, my evolution then of all of this, that's where it's come from. I started out with creative memories, cutting a bunch of circles. I moved my way to traditional, matting those pictures, putting on a title, moving on to the next one. I moved into digital, which gave me even more expansion of ideas. And then from there, I started making mini albums, I started making journals, I moved my way into project life and into art journaling and mixed media. Um, it's been an exciting journey, and I'm not done yet. There are so many new more products out there that I want to try, and so many other techniques that I want to try. So this is a lifelong adventure, and I'm really enjoying it. And I hope your adventure is enjoyable as well. It should be. Thanks for watching.